Hey, gentlemen, picture this. If your image of Jesus is just a pale, soft-spoken man holding a lamb and avoiding conflict, you know what, guys? You have been lied to. Because look, yes, Jesus is love. He is the Prince of Peace, but he's also the Lion of Judah. You know what? I actually got a lion head and Hail Jesus, Lion of Judah, tattooed on my chest. I mean, none of y'all gonna ever see it, but I actually do have it. But anyway, he did not avoid conflict. He walked right into it. He didn't stay quiet and keep the peace. He flipped over tables, rebuked the leaders, and stood toe-to-toe with death. And yet, most modern portrayal of Jesus has him looking more like the doormat than the King of Kings. And you know what, guys? That's not just destroying modern theology. It is killing biblical masculinity. And so because of that, today we're going to be exploring the wild side of Jesus and why masculinity isn't just meekness alone, and why men today need to stop apologizing for their strength, for truth, and conviction. I'm excited to talk about this. So let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. I want to welcome you to the Legacy Gentleman channel. On this channel, every day, we talk about the values, skills, and works that be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And when you have that, you serve will be a legacy gentleman. All right, man, let's be honest. Most of us Christian men growing up heard about Jesus. It was all about him being gentle, Jesus, meek and mild, more than we heard about the actual Lion of Judah. That's because we've been getting lied to, and we've been led to think that a godly man is one who is soft, who's agreeable, who is silent and passive. But that version of Jesus is really just a cultural creation. Revelation 5 says, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has triumphed." Jesus, he is the Lion of Judah, not the kitten of Galilee. He is not tame. He is not fragile. He's not to be played with. And if you're a man and you've made that your image of Jesus, then you need to understand that biblical masculinity is fierce, it's focused, and is full of fire. All right, let's look at what Jesus actually did. Because in Matthew 21, verse 12 and 13, Jesus, he walks into the temple, sees that the money changers are exploiting the worshipers, and what does he do? He flips over the tables and drives them out with a whip. You know what? That wasn't rage. It was righteous anger. And that's what masculine clarity on what is holy and what is not looks like. In Matthew 23, Jesus continues on and he publicly rebukes the religious elites. He called them snakes. You broth of vipers. Not exactly something you would say if your goal is to be liked. And let us not forget, he walked directly into betrayal, humiliation, and crucifixion, which is death. He wasn't forced to do it. He chose that path and he confronted death and conquered it. Y'all know that ain't soft. That is what somebody who has steel in their soul does. But here's the brilliance of Jesus. He wasn't just bold. He was deeply compassionate. He wept for Lazarus in his tomb. He embraced children. He forgave Peter. He healed the broken and fed the hungry. Jesus shows that masculinity isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about channeling that emotion into strength and love. John 18, when the soldiers came to arrest him, Jesus stepped forward and says, "I'm him." And they fell backwards. He had authority to stop all, but he restrained his power for the sake of the greater mission that he was put on earth for. And that's what it means to be dangerous and controlled. Masculinity that serves protects, and speaks the truth in love. As always, these videos are for everybody, but I want to talk to church men just for a second here. Just like that old saying, good times create weak men, but also weak theology creates weak men. If you think that following Christ means being passive, being polite, being unoffensive, then you're not following the Jesus of the Bible. And you're following comfort, I guess. I don't know. Because think about this. Proverbs 28:1 says, the wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. We're called to speak boldly, stand in truth, and lead with conviction. And if someone's offended, so be it. Look, Jesus was not afraid to offend. He wasn't afraid to confront, and he didn't die so we could be liked. He died so that we could be free. So stop apologizing for your strength. Stop watering down your voice and stand up, speak up, and man up. My journey is for all of us to make sure that we have redefined masculinity in this age. Real masculinity, it is not toxic. It's not about controlling others or flexing your dominance. It's about being dangerously good. Jesus was not dangerous because he was cruel. He was dangerous because he could not be manipulated or moved by the lies, by power, or by fear. Look, that's what the world needs. More men who aren't safe, meaning they don't compromise truth, but they're good, they're anchored, they're righteous, they're strong. Look, you don't have to become somebody else. You have to become the man Christ already showed you who to be. Gentlemen, it's time to stop apologizing for being men. Jesus is the lamb who was slain, yes, but he's also the lion who reigns. Men, if your life only reflects his meekness but does not reflect his mission, then you're walking with one foot in your calling. You are made for more. You've been made to lead, to protect, to stand, to carry the truth like a sword and kindness like a shield. So be gentle, but be bold. Be gracious, but be grounded. Be humble, but don't be silent when God has given you a voice to speak. Gentlemen, I hope this message hits home to you. And if it did, like it, share it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it. Because the Legacy Gentleman channel is where we're going to reclaim strength, faith, and purpose the way that Jesus modeled it. So until next time, men, lead boldly, love fiercely, and walk like a lion, not just a lamb. And go be legendary.